Hey guys, this is Upesh from MiNote.com, and last year we made a video on the first Mi notebook that Xiaomi launched in India, the Mi Notebook Horizon Edition. And while it was fine, it lacked a lot of features. There was no USB-C charging, no fingerprint scanner, no backlit keyboard, no webcam. Now Xiaomi has launched its new Mi notebooks in India, and this right here is the Mi Notebook Ultra. And I know a lot of you guys are hyped up to know what's new with these laptops. How does it compare to the Realme Book? Does it bring all of the features that the Mi Notebook Horizon Edition lacked? Well, I'm going to answer all of those questions, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing to notice with the Mi Notebook Ultra is the Xiaomi logo on the lid. There has been news that Xiaomi is doing away with the Mi branding, and you can see it here. Honestly, I like that Xiaomi has at least put a logo here because the Mi Notebook Horizon Edition had no logo and it just looked kind of too bland without any text or logo on the lid. Anyway, that's just me. Now, you probably know the inspiration behind the Mi Notebook Ultra's design, right? I mean, it's clearly going for the MacBook look and vibe with the Series 6 aluminum alloy polished unibody design. I mean, here's the laptop next to the MacBook Pro to give you a better idea. Now, there's obviously no comparison with the MacBook Pro because the Mi Notebook is almost half the price. But I'd say this, the Mi Notebook Ultra is a laptop that looks and feels premium. It's also pretty solidly built. I did not notice any weird flex whatsoever. The hinge is also pretty robust, so no issues on the build quality. As for the portability, it's fairly sleek at just 17mm thickness, but the Ultra is a 15-inch laptop, and that means it's kind of big. I mean, it does not weigh a lot, it's around 1.7 kgs, which is fine, but the footprint of the laptop is larger. See, I'm someone who is used to more 13-inch, 14-inch laptops, so I would have preferred the Mi Notebook Pro because that looks the same, has similar specs, but is smaller with the smaller 14-inch display and is also lighter. Anyway, probably the biggest highlight of the Mi Notebook Ultra is this display. We are talking about a 15.6-inch IPS display with a QHD Plus resolution, which is fairly rare in this price range. It has 16:10 aspect ratio, something that people like. There's also 100% sRGB coverage, DC dimming support, blue light protection filters built into the hardware, and 90Hz refresh rate. Now, these specs are pretty good. Well, this is the reason why I was so interested in this laptop. But specs apart, how is the display in the real world? Well, I've been testing out this laptop for a couple of days and so far the display looks absolutely beautiful. It's probably one of the best displays in this price segment. First of all, it looks color accurate and it's very sharp thanks to the higher resolution. The contrast ratio is good too at 1500:1 and it's also bright enough. Now, the max brightness of the display is 300 nits and the display does not have a glossy finish. It's actually matte anti-glare, which means outdoor visibility is pretty good. Now, another big feature in the display is the 90Hz refresh rate. So you can switch between the 60Hz and 90Hz refresh rate by using the Function Plus S combo. But I've been using the laptop with the screen set to 90Hz because everything looks a tad bit smoother. My use case is mostly Chrome and web pages and there's a lot of scrolling, so I like this refresh rate. Plus, the 90Hz refresh rate also means that the screen is a little more responsive, which is also a little handy in some casual games. Now, the display is pretty good, but that's not the only upgrade from last year. Below the display, the keyboard is better. It's finally a backlit keyboard with 2 levels of white light. Plus, the typing experience is quite nice. The keys here are clicky, they have enough key travel at 1.5mm, and the layout has full-size arrow keys, which is a big win. There's also a macro key that you can just use for anything you want. Just press the key and you get this window where you can set things up. The touchpad is better too. It's a big Windows Precision touchpad, so all the gestures work well. And it's nice to use, but I don't like the clicky sound it has down at the bottom. It just sounds a little cheap, don't you think? There's also a fingerprint scanner now, which was missing last time. It's built into the power button. I mean, here's the fingerprint scanner in action, and yeah, it works fairly well. The webcam is here too, another feature that was missing with the last year's Mi Notebook. It's your usual 720p webcam, nothing too special, but hey, at least it's there. When it comes to pause, there's a USB-A port along with the headphone mic combo on the right. On the left, you get a USB-C port that supports PD charging, an HDMI port, a USB-A port, and a Thunderbolt 4 USB-C port that also supports charging. Now, one thing I personally miss is an SD card slot, but yeah, that's fine, I guess. As for the speakers, there are two 2-watt speakers here that are bottom firing, and just listen to this. Now, speakers here aren't anything extraordinary, but they are decently loud, which a lot of laptop speakers aren't, so it's fine. Now moving on from the design, the specs of the laptop are pretty interesting too. Now the Mi Notebook Ultra comes in both a Core i5 as well as a Core i7 variant. The variant we have has the 11th Gen Core i7 Tiger Lake chipset with 4 cores, 8 threads, a max clock speed of 4.8 GHz with turbo boost, TDP of 35 watts, and it's based on the 10nm process. As for the GPU, it has the integrated Iris Xe GPU. When it comes to storage and RAM, our variant has 16GB 32MHz DDR4 RAM and 512GB NVMe storage. Also, if you're wondering, the RAM is soldered here, so can't be upgraded, but the storage can be upgraded. Anyway, if you look at the specs of the Mi Notebook Ultra, it's pretty clear that the laptop has good computing power, especially for the price it's launched at. I mean, the 11370H chipset is powerful, and even though I haven't run any benchmarks, the processor is good enough for my workflow, which is a lot of browsing, a lot of tabs, a little bit of photo editing. You get the idea. The laptop is also pretty quick to start up from shutdown, taking about 6-7 seconds. The app launching is pretty quick, and it can play 4K videos without any issues. Now, when it comes to casual games, we all know that the Iris Xe is a capable internal GPU, unlike older Gen Intel GPUs, and it does handle casual games pretty well. I played CSGO at 1080p resolution, high graphics settings, and the screen set to 90Hz, and I was getting pretty good frame rates at around 60-70. Now, let me make this clear that the Mi Notebook Ultra is not a gaming laptop, it's actually a proper notebook, but yeah, you can do some very casual gaming on it. As for the thermals, the laptop has a 6mm heat pipe at the bottom with a large fan which isn't very noisy. Now, I haven't really used this laptop enough to make a judgment on the thermals, and I have slight doubts, especially because the grills look kind of small, but so far I haven't noticed any overheating issues or anything weird. Also, one thing to note, you can switch between the quiet and balanced fan modes by pressing Function plus K. Apart from that, the laptop comes with Windows 10 Home and Office pre-installed, and there's no bloatware or anything, which is really good. Now, there is one Xiaomi feature which is actually useful. There's Mi Share support. So you can send and receive files from compatible smartphones. I tried it and it works fairly well. On the battery front, the Mi Notebook Ultra has a 70 watt-hour battery with a 65 watt USB-C charger in the box. Now, the battery here is rated to last 12 hours, but I think 6 to 8 hours is a more practical number. As for the charger, it's a fast charger and it takes the laptop from 0 to 50% in around 45 minutes. Coming to the pricing now, the Mi Notebook Ultra starts at Rs 60K for the Core i5 8GB variant. The Core i5 16GB variant costs 64K, and the Core i7 16GB variant costs 77K. So the big question is the Mi Notebook Ultra good value for money? See, in my brief usage, it does seem like a good value for money laptop. See, the QHD 90Hz display is just fantastic. The specs of the laptop are pretty good. The battery is fairly big. And I like that it brings things like the webcam, fingerprint scanner, backlit keyboard, USB-C charging, the things that were missing in last year's Mi Notebook. And all of that in a MacBook inspired but premium design. However, do note that there's also the Realme Book Slim, which has a brighter screen at 400 nits, faster RAM, and its Core i5 8GB variant also costs 60K. Plus, I want to check which of these laptops have better thermal performance. So yeah, overall, the Mi Notebook Ultra looks value for money, but I will be comparing it to the Realme Book Slim to find out the best value for money laptop at 60K, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, drop down your thoughts in the comment section below on the Mi Notebook Ultra as well as the Mi Notebook Pro. Make sure to comment below. Also like this video, share it, subscribe to our channel for more amazing tech videos. That's me signing off. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.